Dr. Krentis, supersize me, dude. I got you, fam. I'm gonna get a cheeseburger.
And that'll be $5.89 at the second window.
Not much is known about Fraudrin. We don't know what he wants. We don't even know what he really looks like. Little by little, we start to learn that he was able to manipulate others to reach his goal, which is actually to release all his fellow members of the 10 Commandments. Fraudrin claimed that he was very lucky and confirms that he is a replacement for the 10 Commandments. Oh yeah, after that, doesn't do anything other than get his ass kicked. And his life finally ends when he fights Megadas for the second time. Without a doubt, Fraudrin is hands down the weakest member of the 10 Commandments. Even with just looking at his power level, he's only stronger than base Galan, and Galan with critical over is simply just way stronger than him. The ability of Phone's Axe is something nice to have, but every other member exceeds him in terms of just raw power, or they're just extremely broken. Fraudrin had neither of them. Fraudrin does not battle a lot, and it's just because he's really cautious. He only battles Megadas moments before he dies, and he does participate in the fight against the Archangels. In the fight against the Archangels, he didn't really do anything, but he was replacement, so I guess that's fine. He was not really winning, but he was still kind of holding his own. This list changed for all 4 members, him, Galan, Fraudrin, and Monspeed when Ridisos joins the battle. In the fight against Megadas, he was being toyed around. However, this was the same Megadas that completely destroyed Monspeed and Derry pretty bad. From adding numbers alone, these two fighters were like 100,000 power level, despite how the series claimed that he was just 60,000 at the time. Moments before death, Fraudrin was about to blow himself up to kill some people. He was stopped by Griamore, so we never really would have known what would really happen. But this should be noted that we should just not underestimate him, and he could have probably done a lot of damage to Leones. Fraudrin is extremely loyal, serious, determined, and intelligent. In fact, he's probably one of the most intelligent people in the series. He was able to control Leones and brainwash everyone, able to murder Zarathustra, and push the blame on the 7 deadly sins, which actually forced him to break up and separate. I honestly cannot name a lot of people that would pull off something like this. Probably maybe Merlin and Wheelchair go for it, but he's hands down one of the most intelligent and best at planning. Fraudrin being extremely patient and careful makes him one of the most dangerous person to go against, even though he's not the strongest. But it's probably because he's rather weak that he cannot take as much risk as others, and he recognizes that. Even when the fight he doesn't really win, he chooses his fight carefully and is really patient and will wait for the right moment to really strike. Like, who honestly, let's just imagine that if the rest of the 10 Commandments actually listened to him and was a bit more patient, like eating souls, so their power level would skyrocket, and the series might have been just a lot shorter in that case. Fraudrin is extremely loyal to his clan. In fact, he calls his other teammates like they're superior to him, even calling something like Derry as Lady Derry, even though they're just teammates. And loyalty is probably the only thing that was holding him back. In fact, if he was just working for himself, he would probably been a lot more dangerous to go up against. Well, let me ask you a question. What would be the first thing you have done if you just got out of jail? Here's your few options. A. Go for an exercise so you have an excuse to drink, like how Galan did. B. Make a tournament so you can get souls. C. Blow up a bird because you can. D. Get a haircut. Did you make your decision? Well, guess what? Fraudrin picked E, which is to get my other teammates out of jail. this man, like, he didn't just get out of jail and relax or anything. He immediately plans on how to save his other teammates. If that's not considered loyalty, I don't know what is. This is not the only instance that we see how loyal he actually is. We actually see this when he was fighting against Megadas. He was getting completely blown up and destroyed, but he never begged Megadas to spare his life. In fact, he called Megadas out for betraying his clan and claims that no matter how weak he was at least loyal, unlike him. He would even go as far to take a risk to blow himself up to try kill Megadas because we would have known if he could really kill him. However, right before he was about to blow himself, we see that Fraudrin wasn't as cold as he think, which is kind of a contradiction to how he laughed that emotions were stupid and like how he did 3,000 years ago. Despite all his doings and his how he was a pretty terrible person, he does care for Griamore, which stops him to blowing up and surrender the match to Megadas. He also does like Megadas for betraying the clan 3,000 years ago, but this is a pretty common belief among all the demons. However, this is the really big game changer, his relationship with Dreyfus and Griamore. After spending so much time possessing Dreyfus' body, he's basically Griamore's mom, even though he has a biological one, but we don't need to talk about that. This is pretty obvious when he would even go as far to prevent himself from blowing up. Even after Fraudrin died, Dreyfus and Griamore does build up great for Fraudrin, showing that they do have feelings for each other. When Griamore claimed that the appearance was the Archangels would help during the war, Dreyfus actually doesn't really agree with him. He talks through Fraudrin's perspective. He claims that while Fraudrin was not a good person, like come on, he was pretty messed up, but he still had his own set of morals and self-rules, and he does respect him for that, even going as far that the goddesses weren't as good as they think. There's also a side chapter for, it's called Gentle Dream. You should totally read it. It's only 3 pages, but it's a small scenario which shows that one of them has a dream where they just eat dinner together. It's pretty short, and it just shows that the three of them actually does care for each other. Later on, Dreyfus was able to use Folsat to save Griamore. While it was never too clear if Fraudrin actually gave him this power to protect Griamore when he was in danger, or Dreyfus was able to use the power because he was the vessel of Fraudrin for so long. But even then, the two even think about Fraudrin the first second they saw Folsat, so it shows that all three of them does care for each other. Well, why should we care about Fraudrin? If these people didn't care, why should we? What has he really done other than get his teammates out of jail and kill Liz? Let's look at this and ask, what did he do though? Was he strong? No, he kind of lost to Denzel's group for no reason. Did he become a official member of the Ten Commandments? Self-explanatory. Did he kill Meliodas? No, he got he got Metro Shark in the face, like what happened in Street Fighter 4. Next question. Did he win against the other clans? Self-explanatory. Did he have a cool design? Bro, he looked like a gigantic purple Kool-Aid monster. Was he the best dad? Close, but no. Hey, don't so upset. You may be a fraud, but you still haven't read the last one. Are you the best mom? Let me answer that for you. Yes. Yes, you were. Well, jokes aside, Fraudrin was a character that took me some reading to really appreciate him. It was such a shame that he was kind of swept under the rug because of his strength. It's his intelligence and patience could have made up for any of his weakness, and they never really made him use that intelligence after the Ten Commandments were got out of jail. And using his death to set up Meliodas' future arc was pretty genius, and I like that he didn't become good when he died at the end because he didn't need to. He didn't need to be good to have a memorable death. He just needed to be the best mom.